Hello, everybody. It is late, but the fandom is on my nerves, so I wanted to do a quick recording about some of the stuff that has transpired tonight. I've been saying in my last few videos that the fandom, at least on some of the social medias, mostly Twitter, but kind of Reddit too, is that if you're not working for Rachel, if you're making decisions that don't help Rachel, you're suddenly playing a bad game. Listen, these people have to play their own damn games. Of course, this is all falling on Ashley. And as someone that's been an Ashley defender since day one, when I recognized that the edit in the very first episode was in fact an edit, and she probably wasn't taking no 2 hour shower, but it was what the producers were going to try and show to be the reason why she was nominated. The fact is, at the beginning of the season, the fandom that doesn't pay good enough attention really thought Ashley was a bad player, and she's not necessarily a great player, but she had to start from the bottom because of Vince's HOH and the whole Showergate mess. But then the fandom started to love Ashley because A, she's very entertaining, and B, she was one of the only people trying to work with Rachel. But now that Ashley's trying to do what's best for her own game, suddenly it's a problem again. Ashley just wanted the group that she was trying to work with to all work together. But this group is very, very dumb, as we've all established since the beginning of the season. Ashley now has this conundrum where she kind of does need Mickey and Rachel to both stay, maybe even Morgan, even though Morgan being on the block is kind of Ashley's fault in a way, because she's been slandering Morgan for weeks. And she is the one that told Rachel that Morgan would put her up. So now Ashley is trying to defend Mickey to Rachel. They had a conversation where she even pushed Rachel to maybe use the veto on Mickey if she wins veto, or if Ashley wins veto, she might use the veto on Mickey. And then, she goes to Mickey and she kind of agrees with Mickey on Rachel being messy for coming after Mickey this week. Ashley's trying to play both sides, and it's not necessarily great. I mean, it's a little messy. Ashley has always been messy. But for her game, as I said in my video earlier tonight, she needs these kind of numbers for her game. Like, Ashley should be allowed to play her game for herself, because at least someone in the game is trying to win the game. Although she has a long way to go to be able to win the game because of her social standing in the house. But she's not going to be able to work with the Vinces and the Cats and the Rileys who have had it out for Ashley since day one. She's made some progress with Lauren. I don't know how strong that progress is. But she's not going to be able to work with the Callies. And I don't even know if she can work with the Keanus. So, yeah, she kind of needs both Mickey and Rachel in the game for her game, not only because they do work with her, and I know people say, well, Mickey slanders Ashley, and she does, but Mickey's also the person that fights for Ashley not to be on the block. In a way, Ashley's just trying to return the favor to save Mickey this week, as insufferable as Mickey can be. So yes, let's allow Ashley to play her own game and not just play for Rachel. As for, well, I need to mention that the toilet paper coming out of Ashley's pants. I mean, I have no idea how the toilet paper was in there so, perfectly that she didn't even realize it, but it was coming out of her pants. It was not used toilet paper. I just don't understand why it was there, how it was there. It took her, she talked to Rachel for an hour with it there. The camera kept zooming in on it. Ashley's the gift that keeps on giving, even when it's something kind of embarrassing like that. Ashley did play a little too hard tonight, though. She talked to Mickey in a room where Ava looked like she was sleeping on the top bunk bed. Ava's usually asleep, and even someone in the comments mentioned that earlier, and I was like, Ava was probably really asleep because Ava's always asleep. But turns out she was not asleep, so she did hear Ashley and Mickey talking about Rachel and realized that Ashley was giving Mickey information about everything Rachel was saying to Ashley, and she heard Mickey talking about how she wasn't going after Rachel, which is a lie. And Ava knows that's a lie. So, of course, that's going to make Ava not trust Mickey as much. So, on one hand, you have Mickey continuing to do too much. Ashley now saying too much. Somehow, dumbass Rachel stans have convinced themselves that maybe Ashley should be the renom this week if Mickey comes down. Yes, Rachel should target one of few people that wouldn't put her on the block. That would be really, really smart and really, really good for Rachel's game. I'm convinced most Rachel stans on social media are as dumb and delusional as Keanu if that is what they really think Rachel should do this week. Just loud and wrong on Twitter. Also, Rachel stans wanting Rachel to work with the showmans. And at this point, if Rachel stans are going to become this obnoxious, if they're going to be the stans that are the most obnoxious this season, every season one person stans or sometimes multiple person stans are the most annoying. It's Rachel's. They're being dumb and annoying. And so if they want Rachel to work with the showmans, I hope she does because they're pretty damn loyal to Vince too. And as I said in the comments of my last video, that Rachel not targeting Vince this week might be short-sighted. And it's kind of what Ashley was trying to say, not necessarily to Rachel, but what her and Will talked about after Noms, is that Ashley sees the bigger picture. And Riley and Kat are in the power position. Morgan is talking about this too. They are the swing votes because they're 2 votes because they're showmans. I mean, this is why showmans should not last in games in the first place. And so if someone like Mickey goes, yeah, Vince loses a number, but Vince has so many numbers. Vince was the person to get out last week, but you know, this cast doesn't see it. And I don't know if Rachel sees it either, the long game. I will say at this point, though, like, Vince and Rachel should probably try and work together for a while. Maybe Keanu in all his delusion isn't totally wrong. Because if they don't, then one of them is screwed soon. Because one of them they have tunnel vision for each other. And it's Rachel's fault. It's not Vince's fault. That's another thing the Rachel stans like to say is that Vince never wanted to work with Rachel, and that's not true. He did. The problem is Rachel was targeting Vince for the right reasons. Rachel was not wrong. Vince should be the target because he has all these people wanting to work with him, wanting to save him. Rachel was right to target Vince. But she's the one that started the tunnel vision, despite being right. Now Vince has tunnel vision for her, too. And so they keep going at each other. It's inevitable. One has to go sooner rather than later. Like, it's crazy. And the problem for Rachel right now, and why I think him not being the main target is bad for her, is because there's just way more people up Vince's ass. They stay up Vince's ass, including Keanu, who she wants to work with. And I believe Keanu wants to go to Final 2 with Rachel. But he also wants to keep working with Vince. So if Rachel and Vince aren't going to work together, they're still going to take shots at each other. And Vince has more numbers, which is what Ashley is trying to say in the long run. But whatever. So yeah, Rachel stands being annoying, being dumb, wanting Ashley to be the renom right now because they don't like that Ashley is trying to save Mickey, even though that's best for Ashley's game. I will say that Ashley's conversation with Mickey did seem to kind of work. Like Rachel talked to Ava just a bit ago, talking about how she's considering if she wins Veto using the veto on Mickey. I don't think that... I doubt that really buys her any good graces with Mickey, although Mickey has changed her mind a lot. So it is possible that buys some good graces with Mickey. I just doubt it, though, because Mickey's been so upset tonight. So upset that she put... her and Morgan put meat in all the food tonight. Callie's a vegetarian. They usually try and consider Callie when cooking. They did not tonight, so Callie noticed that. Probably upset about that. But, Callie could cook her own food. So, all this complaining lately. Oh, Mickey didn't make Rachel a grilled cheese. Oh, like it's that hard to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Like, you could whine about Mickey not cooking you something, but you could do it yourself. If they're upset with you and they're the people that cook the most, oh well. You shouldn't have them upset with you if that's going to be a problem. So I don't feel sorry for Callie that she didn't, have a meal tonight. She could cook herself. As for Morgan, she's been dogging Lauren a lot for Lauren voting for Zach this week. I mean, Rachel's been doing that too. If Lauren and Zach were supposed to be the potential showmans, how dare Lauren vote against Zach and not want to be a number to keep Zach this week, and that's why Morgan's upset. Morgan did vote for Zach too, but I understand her argument. Like, Zach didn't have the numbers, that's why Morgan didn't vote for Zach. But if Lauren would have stuck to her guns, being the potential showmans, then maybe they could have had more numbers. So I understand where Morgan's upset. It's still more Morgan being pathetic because Zach wanted to pursue Lauren and not her. But Lauren voting for Vince over Zach really should have been more of a wake-up call to this cast that Vince does have numbers, but they want to keep Vince around despite him having all these people that want him safe and want him in the game. Tonight, Lauren and Callie had a pretty interesting conversation. For the first time ever, I enjoyed a Callie conversation. I don't like Callie. She's still one of my least favorite people in the house. I just feel like Callie doesn't play. She just does random shit. She volunteered to be on the block for the first few weeks. It's just a lame person to watch in the game. Tonight, she told Callie that... No, tonight Callie told Lauren that she wouldn't mind Vince going this week. They discussed the possibility that Lauren could be the renom, which I think could be a possibility. I don't know if I believe that Callie would be okay with Vince going out. I want to believe her. I believe that she's still upset about the flip vote on Adrian. They got revenge on Zach, so that makes me think she might go more lenient on Vince. But maybe not. And if somehow this week, if say Mickey or Morgan wins the veto, one of them comes down, Lauren goes up, and the other one of Mickey and Morgan win the blockbuster, and Lauren and Vince are still on the block, that's a scenario where Vince actually could go home this week. And Rachel could actually have taken out the biggest long-term target in the house to win the game in Vince. I think Lauren could have the votes to stay over Vince only because Lauren might be able to swing the showmans, who has the power to be the deciding swing votes this week, because they are there are two other people in this house that this cast continues to let be in this good position, much like they let Vince continue to stick around despite him having so many allies to work with. I think that's all I want to talk about tonight. I will be back tomorrow after Veto.